Hey everyone. So at the end of the year, we always kind of look back and evaluate, see what has happened in the year. And I want to just review one of the things that's been top of mind right now for 2022 has been the number of people that have asked for a market analysis of the value of their property, also known as a broker price opinion, to go and contest the assessed value of their property. Here in Utah, you can go, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 years sometimes, you don't have your property assessed. And then when it's assessed, depending on what's happened in the market, your taxes can jump up, and that's what's happened to a lot of people. Their property taxes have jumped tremendously, and so they've wanted to contest the assessed value of their property. And I've been able to see some people that it's helped them. They've been able to lower their taxes. They've gone in, they contested those assessments. They had to do it, I think it was by the middle of September. That has been probably the top thing, especially because it's kind of towards the end of the year. I really wish that Utah would do something. I know the legislative session starts next month, about the middle of the month. And one of the things they're looking to do is give back some money to property owners in property taxes to give a rebate or some money back. I don't know how they'll do it. And that's all nice. I mean, I'd love to get some money back. My assessment went up. It'd be nice because we pay a lot in property taxes now compared to other states. From what I understand, we're kind of in the middle of the pack. One of the things that California does that I've been impressed with, and I think they started it, somebody told me in the 1970s, is that they can't increase property taxes more than a certain percentage. I think it's like 2% or 2.5% per year. So one thing I would assume that they do is they probably are on top of the assessed value of the properties so that they are able to consistently increase their taxes. Versus here in Utah, you'll have people that, they've been paying on the property, just one I can think of, about $2,300, $2,400 up to $2,500 for the last 4, 5, 6 years, and then it jumped and they're at $8,000. That is tough to budget for somebody. One lady I was working with, a widow on a fixed income, and her property taxes went up by triple. Utah, versus just giving back, I mean, they've got a surplus and they're going to give back some money. Do something to kind of alleviate this spike in property taxes. And I'm assuming, depending on what happens in 2023 with the market, I'm thinking that we'll get a lot of requests to again provide price opinions or market analysis of people's properties so they can contest the assessed value, because if things come down more in value with the big jump that they had this year, then we may have that happen in 2023. Speaking of taxes, let me just get on my soapbox also. We had the election in November, and one of the propositions for Wasatch County was to raise taxes. And I hate to see taxes raised because they rarely are lowered. It just doesn't happen. Anyway, they had this tax to fund additional parks and trails. Anyway, and it passed. And the articles that I read after the election are that it passed with a majority of people want this. I looked at the results and it was like 55 to 45%. To me, that's not a huge majority. I mean, it's a majority, but they made it sound like, everybody wants this. It isn't that much, and it wasn't on property tax. It was on sales tax, and it was like 0.01%. So what is that? $1 for every $100 it's spent or something, or $1,000 is spent. Anyway, it's not very much. It's interesting. I was just up in a development, about 1,300 homes will be built in this development. They have some great trails. They have some nice parks. The developer is putting in those trails and those parks and the pond and all those different things for that development. The people that are buying and building in that development, and they're paying an HOA fee, are going to have those trails and parks. And you're getting more and more of those cities, counties, they're requiring a developer to put in trails and parks and different things for that little community. And in some cases, actually, they have it open to everybody. It's not just the development itself. So you're getting more and more of this. So why raise some more taxes for that? You're getting it already, and I don't know. It's a little frustrating to me, because if you've ever ran a business and you want to see incompetence in the use of money compared to private business, look at government. They just don't use money typically. Now, maybe once in a while they are efficient at something. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But why raise taxes, take money out of our pockets to do something that's already happening by the majority of properties that are being developed? Anyway, I'll get off that now. The other interesting thing in 2022 as far as real estate is at the beginning of the year, working with a number of buyers. The number of buyers I work with seems to stay pretty consistent. Some of them active, and then some of them will drop off and not be looking. But at the beginning of the year, Q1, there's a lot of competition. We were competing with multiple offers. And then April, things just died down. April, May, June. And buyers were kind of like, okay, wait, maybe I don't want to make an offer. Interest rates are going up. And And now in the end of Q3, September, then starting October, November, there's been a lot more buyers that are getting active again, thinking, okay, maybe it's still time. I mean, interest rates have gone up, but comparatively speaking, they're not that bad. And are there still some opportunities? So that's been really interesting to see what's happening with buyers. As far as sellers, the beginning of the year, I'd be talking to people about selling property and then, want a market analysis, but there were just very few that were actually listing their properties. Now in Q3 and in Q4, I've seen a lot more activity. And I mean, overall, you can look at the MLS, Park City MLS, Salt Lake, Wasatch Front MLS, any of them have had big increases in listings. And so as far as for me personally, I've seen that same thing where suddenly is getting not only people wanting to know what their property's worth, but actually listing their property. So anyway, just some interesting things for 2022. Anyway, if you have any questions about real estate, love to talk to you about real estate and how I work to increase your confidence, reduce your risk. Have a great holiday season. I just wish you the best. Take care.